Have you ever felt overwhelmed by social anxiety in everyday interactions? That sudden rush of nervous energy, the overthinking, the second guessing. It's like your brain is working against you in real time. Even the simplest conversation can feel like a challenge. You go to the supermarket, you see someone you know, and the words just don't come out. You feel anxious. But what if I were to tell you that fear itself isn't the real problem? Today, we're going to break that cycle, and not in the way that you might expect. For over a decade, I've worked for one of London's top self help companies, and I've coached hundreds, if not thousands, of men overcome their social anxiety and unlock their full potential. And over the years, I've seen the same couple of patterns repeat themselves, which is really stopping men from expressing themselves, from being themselves. These same patterns are causing men to get stuck in their heads and overanalyze every single interaction, fearing judgment, which actually never comes. From this decade's experience, I found a way to help men detach from their fear and move through the world with confidence. Most people think that social anxiety is about not knowing what to say, that if they just had the right words or the right strategy, then they would just be okay. But that's not true. The real cause is caring what people think too much, caring how you're being perceived. Your brain is constantly scanning for threats. And when you care too much about people's opinions, it will treat a social interaction like life or death. Every pause will feel like a failure. Every reaction feels like some kind of judgment. But here's the one thing to remember, and here's the twist. Most people aren't paying attention to you, unfortunately. So why does it feel so real? Why does fear control you so well? And the answer is simple, because you're attached to an outcome. You want people to like you. You want people to approve of you, and that's pretty much where the resistance comes from. The more that you crave this approval, the more fragile your confidence becomes. So therefore, the solution isn't to become more likable, it's to detach. So think about the last time you spoke to a stranger. Were you fully present, or were you trapped in your own head, analyzing and thinking, oh, how am I coming across right now? Detachment means you will step out of that loop. It means realizing that other people's opinions of you is just not your responsibility. You have very little control over how other people perceive you. Your only job, and this is quite liberating to know, this is why this is so awesome, your only job is just to express yourself. So here's how to get started, how to detach. Lower the stakes, because they are low. Most interactions are forgettable. That awkward moment that you may be replaying or afraid of, most people don't even realize. When you truly internalize this, you stop walking on eggshells. Social anxiety will go through the roof when you treat every interaction as high stakes. But the truth is, everybody is in their own reality. Everybody's paying attention to themselves that they don't even notice. So imagine you're in a tug of war with your own social anxiety. The harder you pull, the harder it pulls back. And the secret is to simply drop the rope. Stop resisting. Stop getting into the fight. Just acknowledge it. Just acknowledge it and let it be. The more that you try and control social anxiety, the stronger it becomes. The moment you stop trying to fix yourself, the lighter you feel. The more that you are able to observe this conflict and not get involved, the more that you detach. And that's the power of detachment. The biggest misperception about detachment is that you think you're going to lose motivation. You think you're not going to care. On the contrary, you're going to care more and you're going to be able to show up more. And you're going to lower that social anxiety because you're not taking part in it. You're not joining in that fight. And that's why detachment is so powerful. Detachment isn't about becoming cold or indifferent. It's about freeing yourself from seeking the chains of approval. And the only way that you free yourself is simply by seeing these. Simply by putting yourself into these situations which you feel uncomfortable, and then observing how you react. That will break the chain because you're no longer identifying. You're no longer attaching to those thoughts. And all that means is getting lost in thought. I promise you that once you do this, that you will start to enjoy conversations, whereas before you would have felt very anxious, especially if it's someone that you really respect, like a boss, or you've somebody you find attractive, where you have those overactive thoughts about how you're coming across and how you're appearing to that person. Just sit back and watch, and it gets easier because you're no longer attaching and getting lost in those thoughts. Anyway, before I finish the video, if you want to speak to me about your social anxiety, what's getting in your way, I can offer you a 50-minute free call with myself. And in that call, I will help you get to the bottom of where you're going wrong, what the pattern is. So go to the link below and book that call with me now. Anyway, if you found that video interesting and you want to learn more about overcoming your own social anxiety, go to this video here. It's amazing.